Alright you guys, so welcome to a new series on this channel where I review games that I 100% complete, or in other words, I platinum. Today we are going to be covering Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. I'm going to be going over what I think about this game. I'm going to basically be reviewing the game, giving my thoughts on it, and I'm also going to be reviewing the platinum trophy. Was this a fun platinum to get? Was it too difficult? Was it too time consuming? That's basically what I'm going to answer in this question today. So let's go ahead and get into it. So let's go ahead and start on the review of the game itself. This game is absolutely phenomenal, okay? This game is amazing from head to toe. I was really captivated by the art style here, and this game is just such a different direction for From Software. I'm gonna say this right now also, I low-key think that this is one of From Software's best games, and I'm not gonna lie, the combat system in Sekiro is low-key one of the best combat systems in all of video games, hands down. It's so satisfying through and through, and I had an amazing time with it. Sekiro, being a linear single-player game, is actually extremely replayable for the combat alone. This game forces you to master the mechanics and everything like that. And once you finally master the mechanics by beating the game, you don't want to be done with it. That's one of the main reasons I went for this platinum in the first place. I wanted to replay this game because I got so good at it. For a From Software game, the storytelling is really good here as well. Now, From Software doesn't usually have bad storytelling. They usually just do it in really cryptic ways. For example, look at the Dark Souls games. Like, you can't just play through that game and, it's not like you have cutscenes and everything like that that shows you what's happening in the game. You kind of have to pay attention to the environment to, kind of understand the story. But in Sekiro, the cutscenes are done really well here, and we actually have some amazing characters, and it's a lot easier to digest than other Souls games. I won't ramble on and on too much about, the story and everything, so I'm just going to cut to the chase and give a final score to this game out of 10. I think Sekiro is a 10 out of 10, okay? This game won Game of the Year in 2019 for a reason. It's a 10 out of 10. Low-key, one of the most flawless video games I've ever played from head to toe. Now, let's go ahead and get into the Platinum review. I'm going to start right off the bat by saying, dude, this was low-key a rough platinum for me. It is sort of my own doing. This platinum came in at about 75 hours for me. This is for two main reasons, really. Basically, there's a trophy where you have to unlock the entire skill tree, and if you guys don't know, the skill tree in the XP in Sekiro is kind of weird. It's kind of hard to explain. Just know that it's super difficult to get XP points, or at least it's difficult to save up enough XP so that you can level up the skill tree all the way. That took me a ton of time. Next being the fact that you have to upgrade all the prosthetics. I was highly misleaded, bro, okay? So when I beat the game, I was like, I'm just going to play through the game over and over a couple times just because I enjoy it. I'm going to go get the different endings, and by the end of it, I'll just have enough stuff to, level up the prosthetics all the way, right? That was completely wrong, bro. I had to do so much farming because I missed so much stuff. The lapis lazuli material is one of the most tedious things to get. Let me explain that. So lapis lazuli is essentially the material that you need to upgrade your prosthetics to max, okay? And I, basically unlocked the entire skill tree and got there and realized I only have a couple. I could only upgrade one to max. So I did some research. I was like, okay, maybe I can farm this. No, dude, there's only 6 lapis lazuli available per playthrough, okay? So that means I have to play the game about 2 times over again. And by this point, I was exhausted from playing the game over and over again, but I had 2 more playthroughs in front of me. Listen, I should have been smarter. Whenever I went to Fountainhead Palace in my first playthrough, I should have just collected it there. I should have looked up a guide or something before I went into this platinum. But yeah, that was super rough because I was already about 50 hours in, and I realized I had to play through the game 2 more times. So I was like, dude, this is rough. But we ended up getting it done, and it took about 75 hours. So that part was on me. It was tedious because I didn't really pay attention. Now, with all that being said, Sekiro's platinum wasn't the best for me. Sekiro is a really fun game, but in terms of platinuming it, it still was really tedious, and there was a little bit too much grinding in my opinion, okay? The skill tree and the way XP works in this game is kind of wonky, and especially with the upgrade materials, it can be kind of frustrating, and it kind of sucked some of the fun out for me. And even if I didn't play through the game multiple times without ignoring the lapis lazuli, I still think that it would have sucked a lot of fun out for me just because it's just so weird how it works. Usually in other Souls games, you just go get your souls and boom, you're good, level up. But Sekiro is way different, and because of its difference, it's a lot more tedious and it's a lot more grindy. And by the time I came out of the platinum, I was extremely sick of Sekiro. But it's not a terrible platinum, and it is really fun to replay the game over and over again. Getting the different endings is really cool. So in terms of the difficulty of this platinum, I'm going to say it's a 6 out of 10. Sekiro is a really difficult game, but once you get the fundamentals down and the mechanics down, it's honestly really easy and you can just fly right through the game over and over. So the difficulty of this platinum is about a 6 out of 10. There's some hurdles you have to overcome, but once you overcome them, it's really just, straight up marathon from there. Now, as far as my enjoyment out of 10, I'm going to go ahead and give this a 7 out of 10. Once again, this is actually a really fun platinum. But one of the biggest problems for me was all of the grinding. I thought the skill tree was a little bit too much, and I didn't really like the way XP worked and the upgrade materials. That's so subjective to me, but that's just my personal experience. I think it's kind of unnecessary and it's a little bit too much in my opinion. Yeah, there is my platinum review of Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Now look, I know that these videos might seem weird to some of you guys and you might not understand the point. I think that this is a little fun series I can do on my channel so that people who have platinumed the games that I platinum can relate to me, can see if my experience is similar to theirs. And I just think it's a fun little series to do. I enjoy it. Whenever you put a bunch of work into platinuming a game, I want to, kind of talk about it and review it because I think I've put enough hours and time into that game to have a genuine opinion on it that matters. So, yeah. With all of that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys want more gaming content like this, gaming news, whatever it is, make sure to drop a like and a subscribe. It's much appreciated, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.